Guys, welcome back to Odd Jobs. Today we've got a pressure switch for the well pump, so stick around. Yeah, so these switches, they work on pressure. We connect them to the water going in. The water goes in here. The pressure that the water's under will determine whether the valve, or the switch rather, opens or closes. And that's going to power the pump that's out in the well, and start pushing the water in. When the pressure builds up, it'll push this little tab away and disconnect it. The one that we have existing is old and worn. In the last couple days it's been failing on us, so it's time to change it out. These can be had anywhere for about $30–40 depending on what model you get. Mine is a simple 3050, and what a 3050 means is that at 30 psi the pump will turn on, at 50 psi the pump will turn off, and it'll charge your system to 50 psi. It's adjustable. I'm going to show you how to do that when we get it installed. So we shut off the power and we don't have anything going on there, so we're going to disconnect all the wires, and over here, maybe it's difficult to see, we have to depressurize the tank, because once we unscrew that, water is going to come out. It's going to be fun. It's going to take a long time to drop, but in the meantime, let's undo these, get these wires out of here. So this pump might be a little different than yours. It goes out 3 wires, 230 volts, submersible pump. So that means that both these switches are live. They're going to be hot, and the one wire here, the white, the common, that's going out to the pump, it's going to act as our ground. So we can disconnect all of these. I already made sure there was no power. Just cut. I don't care about saving these wires, because in the end the pump just kicked in. But so no power going. We're going to take this piece off of this. Now let's have a look at the other one. The other one has got a female thread on it. This one looks like it's got a male thread on it. Guess the laundry's done. So I'm fixing my vice grip pliers on this pipe, because I don't want this pipe off. I want everything beyond this pipe off. So, do I even need this? I don't think so. Now, when this comes off, be ready, because you're going to get some water. It's going to be at no pressure, but basically anything from this height and above is going to come out of here. So that when we unscrew this, we're going to have a little bit of water, but not a lot. All the dirty water gets trapped there. Now if I open that a bit, I'm going to blow a bit of water out, aren't I? There we are. Just to get the dirty water out of there. All that dirty water is there's no flow here. It's just water just goes one way and out the other. It never really joins anything. So, get dirty water out. We're going to put some Teflon tape on this, because we really don't want it to leak. Okay. We're going to get the new one on. Probably because it made it easier, but anyway. I'm going to tighten that up. Now, that's the easy way to put it. Right there, if it doesn't leak. Because I can get to my connections easily enough. I think I'm going to put it that way. The orientation is completely up to you. It's all about what's easiest to work with. Okay, that's on. The other thing you want to do is you want to install some restraints. In these Bromex restraints, you push the wire through and the wire won't come back. So you have to remember the direction that they go in. This way, and the other one is going to push this way, so it's got to go the opposite way like that. Don't tighten these like your Paul freaking Bunyan either. Snug and a bit more. If you try to reef on it, you're going to end up stripping the thread, and then your connection, your contacts are going to be contact's going to fail. Next we've got the power, the hot side. And the hot side the same here. I'll feed all of these through. Sometimes easier to take that sucker off. I put the wires through first. Like so, and then get the Bromex piece back in there. Okay. This we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the ground wire in the other slot here. You wrap a wire around a screw. Wrap it clockwise, so that way when you tighten up the screw, it wants to turn on the wire. It will turn the wire into the screw instead of pull the wire out of the screw. Like so. Good and nice. That's a nice one. Now, coming from the breaker box, there's a 2-wire coming through. Normally, normally you'd be using the wires that are a red and a black, but I didn't have any when this was getting installed, and so I used a white and a black. The white wire needs a bit of black tape on it, because on the other side there's black tape to signify that it is a hot wire. So if ever you use a white wire to carry a load, put some black tape on it, like so, so that anybody who comes after you will realize that that's carrying voltage. Like so. So this is hooked up to a tandem breaker. No, not a tandem breaker. It's hooked up to two circuits, like a stove breaker or something of that nature. Anyway, it's 2 of them. So you're carrying 115 volts on each side. And as well, when you're doing a configuration such as this, notice here that I put the wire on the far side of the screw, so that I can put this wire on this side of the screw, and it's the maximum amount of distance I'm going to have between the wires when I put them in, and that's going to reduce the risk of arcing from one wire to the next. And always keep your configuration straight so that it goes line in, line out, line in, line out. Because if you do line in, line out, line out, line in, you're going to mess up somebody who's going to think that there should be power on one side when there's not. So it's always about thinking about the next guy who's going to come after you, that you're making it easy for him or her, and making it safe. So that's connected now. So I'm going to have to turn on the pump again, get some power back here. So right now it's set at 48. Wow, I want it to be a little higher than that. So I'm going to take this screw that's down here and put a socket on it. I'm going to turn it down. And I'm noticing that I made 3 1/4 turns. And then I'm going to let the pressure off and back on again. Now I'm watching the pressure gauge for when the pressure drops, because it said this is enough. Right now it's set for 30-50, and the pressure's dropping. It's at 40 now. This is when I want the pump to come on. Right there. So I'm looking here at the pressure gauge, and it's saying that it's at 55. I want it to go a little bit higher than that. I want it to go to 60 or just above 60. So I'm going to open up the valve again. And this time I'm going to tighten down the screw when the shutoff, or when I want it to engage, is at 42 or 45 psi. So I'll open up a valve here. Let's watch the pressure drop. Let me get ready there. It's dropped down, it's at 50. $46. Let's anywhere here. So I'm going to turn this screw in until the pump kicks on. It's not kicking on. And I think it's at its maximum. Right there at 42. 42 it kicks on. And we can watch it fill up. There it is. There's 60. How much higher is it going to go? 62, 60. That's the best we're going to get. I wasn't able to find a pressure switch of 40-60, so I'm using a 30-50, but I was able to turn it up. That's pretty good thing. Then we're going to put the cover on, just to keep a bit of moisture out and all that good stuff. There we go. That's it. That's all she wrote. So if you're interested, you can go and have a look at more stuff from Everbilt. They supply Home Depot with a lot of their pump stuff. Interesting, good stuff. Seems to be alright. Anyway, if you got something out of this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the likes and all that kind of stuff below. And share it with your friends.